Welcome to the Busy to Balance podcast. I am your host, Jamie Zweer, and I'm the founder of Oh How Healthy. This podcast is all about how to show you, the overworked, overwhelmed, and occasionally unhealthy woman, how to find health and balance in all different areas of your life. I will share with you digestible, bite-sized bits of info on everything from balancing a healthy plate to keeping a healthy home and everything in between. Now listen, I know that you are busy, and that is why I will keep these episodes short, sweet, and to the point. Now let's dive into today's episode. Hey ladies, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so excited to have you here. Today's episode is a good one. It's all about sleep and how to get more of it and how to not let our other priorities in our busy lives jeopardize our sleep routine. Because let me tell you, sleep is essential, which I'm sure you probably already know. It takes up about 1/3 of our lives, and it is when your body is healing and when you're able to really recharge. Those days where you get 8 hours of sleep, don't you just feel like a charged battery? I know I do. So getting sleep is not only great for your mood and your well-being, but it's also great to help you balance your hormones and maintain a healthy weight, as well as have less brain fog and be sharper and have an improved memory and really just be able to make better decisions throughout the day. So these decisions can be as small as what to grab for breakfast, what kind of snack to grab. Do you want that apple or do you want that donut? Do you want to go to the gym or do you want to skip the gym? And when your body lacks sleep and is deprived of its energy, it's going to crave the fastest sources of energy. You're going to naturally want something sweet. And that is because your body is low on energy and it knows that sugar from that donut is going to spike your blood sugar and give you that instant burst of energy, then cause you to crash right afterwards. So if you're looking to figure out why you're craving sugar, why your brain is foggy, why you're feeling like crap, why you're feeling bloated and just like an overall feeling, we really have to look at our sleep and our basic self-care habits in this area. So I know that we all strive for 8 hours every single night. And I also know that we have a super jam-packed schedule that doesn't always allow for 8 hours, but it is exactly what our bodies so badly craves and needs to heal after a long, busy day that we've had. I know that it is not really realistic to sleep 8+ hours every single night. And I understand that there are things and factors that happen that might prevent us from getting 8 hours of sleep every single night. And all of our situations are different. And this can influence your sleep cycle and how much you sleep and how well your sleep really is. And I also know that you might have a teething baby at home or a sick animal, and all these different factors are in play when you're trying to achieve adequate sleep. And I know that those things happen, and that's okay, and we just have to roll with those punches. But this is for the person, the everyday woman who is striving to get to bed night after night at a certain time and just can't achieve it for some reason. So I really want to break that down and share with you tips that will help you not only prioritize your sleep routine, but also tips on how to wind down and get to bed and fall asleep when you want to fall asleep. For the most part, I'm talking about breaking these bad habits and establishing good habits. So if all that sounds good to you, let us dive right in and learn these 4 tips that I want to share with you that will help you get adequate sleep night after night. For my first tip, I want you to plan your week ahead. Know what's going on. What does your Monday through Friday look like? What time do you want to get to bed? Be specific. Don't just set a general goal and say you want to get to bed earlier, because you won't know when you've achieved that goal. And you can say, okay, Monday I did, Tuesday I didn't, but Wednesday I did really good, and Thursday I did really good, Friday was rough. And when you're planning ahead, you can see, okay, Tuesday I have a late meeting, and that means dinner will have to get pushed back. Wednesday we have back-to-back soccer games, and that's okay because you can just plan to have a late night and just know that dinner's going to get pushed back and not beat yourself up about that. Or you can see that Wednesday night when you have back-to-back soccer games, you can throw a crock-pot meal in the dinner before you leave the house so that you have food already ready and it will be an easy cleanup. So these are some things that you can take advantage of when you're planning your week ahead so that you're not bombarded with a pile full of dishes or a late dinner and grumpy and cranky family members. So the second tip that I have for you is I want you to write your priorities out. What is most important to you? Is sleep high on your priority list? For example, if you have a bedtime at about 10 p.m. and it's 9 p.m. and you know that you should probably be winding down, but you have a whole pile of dishes piled up in the sink and you have a whole inbox full of emails and your favorite show is sitting on your recorded TV shows and it's just waiting to get watched. So this is why I want you to set your priorities. What is most important to you? Is your health and well-being most important? Is your the cleanliness of your home most important? Is your work and getting your work done most important to you? Is socializing and your social life and entertainment really important to you? Then you need to prioritize that, and that's fine. There is not one right or wrong way here. It is just what works for you and what's best for you. If you're the kind of person that just needs to wake up and have a clean kitchen, otherwise you'll be in a bad mood all day, then that is your priority and you need to wash those dishes and put them away so that you can wake up and be your best self in the morning. Or is your social life most important to you? And you know that every Wednesday afternoon, you and your girlfriends go and get lunch and you talk about the latest Bachelor episode. So you know that, it's Tuesday night and I want to watch my Bachelor episode so that I'm not lost in the sauce tomorrow at brunch or at lunch. So that's fine. And it can vary from day to day. So sometimes work outweighs our sleep, and that's okay. But a recommendation that I have for you is sometimes we stay up late and our brain is just fried and we're not going to do our best work at night. So if that is you and you know you have work that needs to get brought home, try to do it in the morning and set your alarm early in the morning and get some sleep the night before, because when you set your alarm in the morning, you typically have a limited amount of time before you have to get to work in the morning. Whereas if you stay up late at 9:30 at night, you are more likely to take a break, check Facebook, go grab a snack, and it's taking you longer because you're tired. And before you know it, it's about 12 or 1 a.m. and you've lost out on not only that 45 minutes of sleep, but about 3 hours of sleep because you weren't your best self and you could have done that same task in the morning where you set your alarm an hour earlier or 45 minutes earlier, and in the morning you need to get it done. So you're like rushing through it. You're not wasting your time getting a snack. You're not wasting your time moseying through Facebook. You're just getting the task done. So sometimes I do that and it really works well. Make sure that you give yourself enough time though. If it's your first time doing it and you don't know how much time it really takes you to complete that task, then just give yourself enough time or time it out in advance so that you know. My third tip is to set an alarm for wind down time. So if your bedtime is 10 p.m., then set that alarm for 9 p.m. and then set another alarm for 9:30 p.m. so that you can ease yourself into your bedtime routine and so that you know what time it is. Because sometimes I don't always know what time it is throughout the day. And especially if you're bad with time management, setting an alarm is a great way to become aware of what time it is throughout the day and then also how long an hour is or a half an hour is. So if you set your alarm at 9 p.m. and then you're like, oh, I know I have another alarm set at 9:30 and that alarm goes off and you're like, oh, wow, that was a half an hour. And I know that sounds silly, but when you lose track of time or when you're doing something, a half an hour can fly by. So becoming aware and setting alarms throughout the day can be really helpful, especially when you're trying to establish a new bedtime routine. So set that alarm for 9 p.m., set another one at 9:30 p.m., and then even set another one at 9:45 p.m. Or, make this according to whatever new bedtime that you want. But set an alarm, set a few alarms if you find that would be helpful. And don't let this give you anxiety. Just allow this to be a tool that will move you in the right direction. Because I know that can create a little bit of anxiety when maybe if you're in the middle of something and you're like, okay, it's 9 o'clock, or I have an hour left, I have 15 minutes left, and that can kind of create an anxious feeling. And the goal here is to have that alarm set so that you know, okay, 9 p.m., I'm going to go hop in my PJs. I'm going to go grab a book. I'm going to shut off this TV and I'm going to go upstairs and hop in bed. I'm going to maybe take a shower, take a bath, or do something relaxing. The point of this alarm is really just so that you can start to become aware of what time it is and set this as a recurring alarm so that day after day, you know, okay, well, it's 9 p.m. is this, and I should be done this by now. And 9:30 looks like this, and I should be hopping in, taking a nice bath right now or something. Just take it one day at a time. And this all brings me to step 4. And what does your wind down routine look like? I would establish that. So when that alarm goes off, what are some things that you can do to help you wind down and relax? Because you don't just want to hop in bed at 10 o'clock and be like, okay, I was supposed to be asleep. Or hop in bed at 9:55 and say, okay, I'm supposed to be getting to sleep now. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Because chances are that's just going to create tension and cause you to not fall asleep and give you worries and create worry in your mind. So that is not what we want to do. We want to plan ahead, right? Like go back to step 1 and plan. And we want to be planners so that it will set us up for success. So when that 9 o'clock alarm hits, what are some things that you are going to do? Do you have essential oils that you like to use? Things like lavender and lemongrass are really great and really calming and create a nice sleep environment. If you want to use them topically or aromatically, those are really great options. Taking a bath is always enjoyable, and you can use those essential oils in the bath as well. Taking a shower can be nice and relaxing. Reading a book can be nice and relaxing. And even turning on the TV. Like if you are someone who has your head in a computer or just working endlessly or just watching TV might relax you, then watch TV if you want. It's not going to be my first recommendation because the blue light from electronics can stimulate you and keep you awake and energize you. But if that's what you find relaxing, then go ahead and do that. Something else that I like to recommend is 5-7-8 breathing technique. And I actually have a video on this that I will link to the show notes. And it is simply, it's a meditative breathing technique that calms the body and allows you to become restful and helps you fall asleep. And I love to use this. And every single time I use this, I'm actually surprised how well it works because I wake up the next day and I'm like, wow, it actually worked again. And because I'm not someone who really just falls asleep so easily, it can be tough for me to fall asleep. So and what this simply is breathing in for 5 seconds, holding for 7 seconds, and releasing for 8 seconds. And it can be extremely relaxing and calming to the body. So get yourself out of your head at night and into your body. And a good way to do this is take out a notepad, put it on the side of your bed. I know that being a busy woman, you have 1,000,001 thoughts running through your head. So get them all down. There's no point of worrying about it now at 9, 10, 11 at night. There's not much you can do about it. So put it down on a piece of paper on the side of your bed and just know that you'll get to it tomorrow. If something pops into your head as you're trying to fall asleep, if you feel it necessary, then write that down as well. And that's about it. My 4 main tips there, which were planning ahead, prioritizing, setting alarms, and finding a sleep routine that you find useful and that will help you wind down. And sleep is everything, guys. It's crucial. Remember, it's taking up about 1/3 of your lives. It is part of the groundwork that I cover. And it's essential so that you can really find balance in your life because sleep is crucial. So that is about it, guys. I hope that you've enjoyed this episode. And if you love this episode, please feel free to leave me a review on iTunes. And also find me on Instagram, find me on Facebook, and let me know what you liked most about this episode. Take a screenshot and tag me in it. You can find me on Instagram at ohhowhealthy, and my website is ohhowhealthy.com. And I love to hear hear from you guys. You mean the world to me, and this podcast is for you. And I hope that you've genuinely enjoyed this episode.